Hi, Ashley. This is Sonia Walsh, and I'm here because I am applying for your job. I got your message on Indeed. So let's see. I'm introducing myself. Okay, so the Shop Shops app, I did check it out. Never seen it before, and I saw the video from the guy in New York. It's fantastic. I love the idea and the concept. I am already doing TikTok shows for a few companies around here. I live in Laverne, California, which is a suburb of Los Angeles. I'm about 30 miles outside of LA, maybe a little less. I'm in LA County. I'm right by in the Inland Empire. I'm told the San Gabriel Valley is what it's called. Right by the LA County Fairgrounds. And anyway, so experience. Well, I'm already currently doing a few shows here and there around town. And I've done everything from makeup to stuffed animals. Right now I'm doing stuffed animals, squishmallows, and the such. And my experience in fashion is quite interesting. I have always been a big fan of vintage, and I was especially into 1940s clothes, and I just collected 1940s clothes for so long, and I just ended up having to sell a bunch because my closet was too full, and frankly then I got too fat for them. And I had stuff from the 60s that was gorgeous, and I had, these beautiful kind of Audrey Hepburn looking Givenchy great dresses and suits, and I've just had a ball. And I love medieval and Renaissance wear. I'm a cosplayer too, so I'm a Trekkie, so I'm constantly looking for stuff that would make good costumes, and I'm very OCD about quality. So I pay close attention to stitching, and I do some sewing myself, so I know what I'm talking about as far as seams and stitching and how things are constructed. I also actually there's a woman who used to in LA who used to do lots of vintage clothing. She's wonderful. She doesn't. She's retired from it now, but it was called Revamp Vintage. And so I worked for her for like a day, literally just so I could afford something in her shop. And she did 10s, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. And so I saw a lot of what she did. And also just, I was addicted to the AMC channel when I was a kid. So I really studied the costumes. I love studying costumes. I'm a big Star Wars fan, obviously. So I bought the Star Wars costuming book just so I could get really accurate fabrics to make my own costumes. They're very hard to sell. You can find, the cheap ones, but I want the fabric to be the same thing. So unfortunately, it wasn't as comprehensive as I'd hoped, but I got some of the names of some of the fabrics that they use so that I could make my own Skywalker and just what all the Jedi robes are made of, because I wanted it to have the exact fabric. So I've studied a lot of fabrics and textiles. I was on mail order for a place years ago called Textile Junkies. Well, that's what they call themselves. They always said, "Hello, fellow textile junkies." That's what it is. I'm a complete collector of ribbon and fabric, and I don't even sew nearly as much as I buy, but I really learned a lot about fabric from that. And as far as designers go, I do know quite a bit. I'm not a complete label freak because I can never afford it, but I actually interviewed to sew at my local Louis Vuitton store. I was going to make the purses. It was during the pandemic, and I didn't get hired, but I was actually going to learn the stitching and actually construct the Louis Vuitton bags myself. And I didn't get that job, but I got to go to the factory and see how they made it and talk about how they made it, which I love their exacting standards because I'm so OCD. I mean, I look for every little thread out of place. So I'm just really big on finding every little detail and little flaw. So that's basically, and of course, like I said, I do know name designers quite a bit, but not nearly as well as I'm interested in actual stitching and fabric and what is quality and what isn't. No matter what the designer name is, I want to know how good the fabric is. So that's my story, and so I'm really good at telling people honestly what will be good and what will look good on them and what will look good on everybody or nobody. So that's my pitch. I hope to hear from you soon, and thank you very much.